Hey Scrappy friends, it's Audrey. It is day 13 of my 2 weeks of summer scrapping. Today my guest is Lisa Kingston, so please go check out her channel linked below. I am using a cut file from Paper Issues, which is an online store. If you have not been to Paper Issues, you must go to their store. It's awesome, and they have a bajillion free cut files. So they recently had a crop based on a summer theme or summer camp theme, and they had this tie-dye cut file, which was so awesome. So I'm going to shrink it down, and I am going to use it as a stencil. So I'm going to cut it about 6 by 6. I'm actually going to cut it from the middle of my paper so that, well, kind of the middle of my paper, so that I can kind of have a border around it. So here is my photo, which you can see is of the kiddos and some friends making some tie-dyes last year, so obviously that's why this cut file is perfect. So you can see I cut the cut file out of kind of like the center of a piece of cardstock, and my background of my base paper there is already gessoed with white gesso, and I am taking some Distress Oxide inks and some kind of foam ink daubers, and I am, because the spaces are so small, I'm really kind of twisting my foam dauber, and I don't want to rip any of the, there's a lot of pointy edges in the cut file, so I don't want to rip or catch any of those, so I'm kind of just gently twisting as I go around with the different colors here. So I'm really anxious to see how this looks. I'm so nervous when I do something like this because I don't know what it's going to turn out to look like. So I'm going to go around kind of in a rainbow, but colors I would pick if I were doing a tie-dye. I wish that, so you can see it's very square shaped, obviously, the file. I wish it was a little bit more organic, so I do try to extend it a little bit so it doesn't look so square. And you'll see in a minute here when I take this off and reveal the magic. Voila. Doesn't it look just like a tie-dye shirt? I love this. It's so awesome. So I'm just going to move the stencil down a little bit and go over with some of the like outside colors again, the green and the purple. And that's just to kind of, again, make it look less square and make it look a little bit more natural, I guess. So this is really, really fun. It's fun to use cut files in for a stencil. As you can see, so as I'm twisting my my foam daubers, they are picking up ink from the other colors. So the lighter colors, especially like the yellow and the green, they tend to pick up a little bit the darker colors and smudge and just not be as crisp of colors, and they tend to smear. The yellow, well, whenever you mix two opposite colors, they turn muddy, and I was trying to be very careful to not make that happen so that it wouldn't get to be like a muddy brown, which if you've ever done tie-dyes, actually made real tie-dyes before, you know that can happen if you mix like red and green, where they overlap, it just becomes kind of this, I don't know, yucky color. So that's what's happening right now to my green. It looks a little bit more brown. So I have a helper now. My daughter loves everything tie-dye, and when she saw me doing this, she's like, oh, can I help? Can I help? Oh my gosh. And I gave her the stencil when I was done with it because she just loved this so much. So she's helping me line up my colors here. She's such a good helper. So yeah, she loved this page and this stencil. So after I get these kind of 3 circles of tie-dye done, I had the thought that the stencil that I'm actually using, maybe because it has so much ink on it, maybe I could turn it into something here. Maybe I could use it again. Look at that. Doesn't that look so cool? Oh my gosh, so perfect. What a great cut file. So I was nervous about this part. I'm going to spritz it with water. My daughter was like, don't do it. Don't spritz it with water. She's like, it's going to blend and get all runny. But it actually changed the colors a little bit. The purple isn't as bright, and it did, you can see right there in the center, but that's where my photo is going to go. It kind of did get a little muddy, but so here's what I decided to do. I took another piece of white cardstock that was gessoed, and I took my stencil that had a ton of ink on it, and I spritzed them both with water, And then I put my craft mat over it, and I'm kind of pressing really hard with my brayer, so hard that it keeps falling apart. And I wanted to see if I could get a negative. It came out okay. It wasn't as crisp or clear as I thought it would be, but I'm going to go through with my brush and just some ink right off the daubers here, and blend a little bit more of the colors. I don't know what I'm going to use this for. I was just kind of experimenting. I might, when I do this and I experiment, if I don't love it, which I don't love this, the colors are pretty, but I don't love it. I'll go through and I could see myself using this as a piece of paper to punch leaves from, or to punch a shape from. So, or I'll cut it up and do something with it. So I tried it again with the stencil here like this, and yeah, that didn't really come out great, but it was a thought. Okay, so now it's time to put all this page together. So I dug through my stash and I trying to find a piece of paper to mat this photo with, and I found this kind of dark purple paper from Chamel's Glitter Girl collection. And I was just looking through a whole bunch of stuff, both summer stuff and just random stuff. And I like the phrase that said "far out" because it kind of reminded me of, like, I don't know, a cool tie-dye saying something that you would hear, like "far out man" or "far out dude," when from somebody who wore a tie-dye shirt. I don't know. But then I went through and I found some more thickers and stickers, and I knew that my title was going to be tie-dye magic, because it is kind of magical if you've ever made tie-dyes, when you undo those rubber bands and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Or maybe, yeah, you have to use a lot of ink though, I think, or a lot of dye for it to be really colorful, but it's so fun. Anyway, I found these stickers that kind of match the blue in the center of my my swirls there, because I wanted to bring out that blue a little bit. There's a lot of purple and yellow, and the red is very prominent. So I think the blue letters for the title kind of helps create a more solid visual triangle for the blue. So I went through so many things, some sticker sheets and die cuts and old stash, and oh my gosh, just everything. Both summer things and random things, and oh my gosh, so much stuff. And I didn't know how to embellish this because I didn't want to cover up the beautiful tie-dye pattern. So I'm gonna do some really just minimal, I guess, embellishing. So I found these vellum hearts. They are very old Studio Calico hearts, and I decided to go with the green ones, even though the green kind of, again, overlaps the red a little bit and kind of makes it a little muddy. I still kind of like that look. And I found these stickers from Simple Stories that I thought had nice colors that matched. So the hashtag happy, hashtag summer, hashtag fun. So with the far out and the stars, they were black, and I thought that the black would be a nice contrast to all the colors, but I felt that the black was just too much of a contrast. So I'm just going to stick with colorful elements and not add any black, and I really think it makes a difference and really lets the focus be on how colorful it is. I definitely think, like I said, black took away from it and was just too stark of a contrast. The same Simple Stories collection where the hashtag phrases came from, I found some other little phrase stickers that were just cute, and the little journaling spots, and I think those sunglasses all came from that same Simple Stories line. The little camera chipboard piece came from an old pink paisley. I think it's called Summer Nights, an old pink paisley collection. And I end up just really taking most of my things off of this Simple Stories sticker sheet. And the smiley face, that definitely screams tie-dye to me as well. So much so that this is the only smiley face sticker in this collection that I could find, and I went through like so many other kits looking for something with emoji stickers or smiley face, and I don't have anything with any smiley faces or emojis. And I looked through kind of like my kid lines, my kid collections, and I was surprised that I couldn't find anything else with a smiley face. It seems like that there would just be collections with that. Okay, so now I'm going to start adhering everything down. I decide to just lay down these hearts with a tape runner. I'm not going to use liquid glue, and I was nervous that you'd be able to see the tape through it, but with the busy background and the vellum is a little bit thicker, you don't see the tape at all. And I'll put this photo down. And I'm just going to add these. So you'll notice, by the way, I did try to put the green hearts kind of over areas that were already green so that it didn't have, you know, too much of an alternating or opposing color behind it. So this was the first time my kids actually made tie-dyes. My daughter got a tie-dye kit for her birthday, and it was enough to make 4 shirts, and we had some friends at the lake, well, friends who are at the lake, who have a camp near us, and we invited them to make tie-dyes, and they did a great job tying their shirts with rubber bands, and their shirts just came out so awesome. So this was last summer. And I can't wait to do this again. I think I'm going to buy them another kit and do it again this summer because they had so much fun. Maybe we'll make it a little tradition. So I had the word tie-dye, by the way, on a piece of just like clear packaging, leftover packaging, just so I could kind of position it and see where I want it. And I did that also with the word magic was already on. And like I said last video or sometime in the past week, I sometimes start spelling my letters or my words from the middle out or from one end or the other to help line them up. And that little arrow helps draw your eye to the photo there. I probably should have journaled on these tags before I glued them down, but oh well. And I gotta pop this camera off a little bit so that it is at the same height as the photo. And then the same thing with the sunglasses. They've got to be at the same height, so they need some foam squares behind them. Is that it? That's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, I do add a couple more blue splatters to kind of, again, bring out that blue a little bit more. I think the splatters help make it here. And that's it. I added my journaling, as you can see on my tags, and the date stamp, which I didn't show you in the video. But I'm just going to let that tie-dye shine and let those colors stand out so bright and fun. So I love, love, love how this came out and worked as a stencil. So it was great. So there's all the close-ups. Yeah, this was a cool. I love blending my distress oxide inks like that. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for day 13 of the Summer Scrappin series. Tomorrow is the last day for the summer, but trust me, I have a lot more layouts coming up in the next couple weeks, so you can stick around and see those. Be sure to check out Lisa's channel, linked below, and have a great day. Thanks so much, and stay scrappy, friends.